I'm meteorologist Scott Harbaugh live in Severe Weather Center 11. I told you about 20 minutes ago when they expired the tornado warning for Washington County. There was the possibility that it could rejuvenate and strengthen a little bit, and it has. Tornado warning now for Fayette, Greene, extreme northeastern Greene County, extreme southeastern Washington County. This is mainly Fayette County. Unfortunately, Uniontown, you are right in the middle of this. So as we go through the next half hour, keep in mind Uniontown, you could be right in line for this cell coming through. Now, there is a little bit of a hook right there, so that's the first thing you're trying to look for, but there's also a wide swath of red and green. So that couplet that we were talking about earlier, we're only going to stay on PXI for a minute or two. Then we're going to go over to WPXI now. We're going to be streaming live for a while talking about this, but basically, again, you get this couplet. You got the green is the radar, is the wind heading in one direction. The red is the wind heading in another direction. You get the two of these together, you got a problem because that indicates that wind's going in opposite directions. That indicates rotation. Now, there's been no tornado debris signature that I've seen with this just yet, but here it is. A lot of green, a lot of red. Notice the pink shading in here. That's some powerful wind. So not only do we have powerful wind going in one direction, but we got wind coming in another direction too, and that's causing a little bit of a spin up. So again, Uniontown's right there. If there's a tornado, it's going to be right in here, and it's heading in this general direction. Again, this goes till 9:45. If you live anywhere down US 40, southeast of Brownsville, east of Carmichael's towards Uniontown, Georges Township, Dunbar right now, please seek shelter immediately. Center room, hallway, bathroom, stairs, obviously a basement. If you have it, if you don't have it, that interior room will work well. We are going to continue our coverage live on WPXI now and all of our streaming apps. You can find it on the WPXI app. You can also find it on Roku, your Fire Stick, by searching the WPXI Now app. We will continue with the Severe Weather Team 11 coverage there. Right now, though, let's get you back to regularly scheduled programming already in progress. Okay, if you're with us on the WPXI Now app, I'm meteorologist Scott Harbaugh. We do have another tornado warning right now. This one for central parts of Fayette County. It goes until 9:45. Let me give you the latest on this from the National Weather Service. And again, this is the same cell that basically spawned that tornado in Washington County. It did weaken, but then it is re-strengthened, and since re-strengthening, we're now seeing that cell possibly produce another tornado. One of the things I'm going to look at here is our tornado debris signature. Now, as I go over to the other radar scope right here, this is our Viper radar. Let me put the tornado debris swath on here, and there's nothing right now in the last hour, which means there's no indication there's any sort of debris that has been going up into the atmosphere, which is certainly good news right now, but we do want to keep an eye on this because it is indicating some pretty good rotation. Let me put the velocity on here right now. I'm actually going to take the warnings off of this right now so I get a better scope on this velocity here. And again, we're talking this area right here. It's heading toward Uniontown. You got wind going in one direction right now, coming up at like 66 miles per hour. Wind coming in the other direction, that's minus 10. That's not that impressive, minus 18. Okay, here's a new scan. So let me give you this right now. And again, we're not seeing a great couplet with this here. Let me pull this down just a little bit so I can get a little more perspective on this right now. But again, if there's a tornado in here, it's going to be right in this area right in here. This is moving east-southeast at 19 miles per hour. Not a great chance that there's any large hail with this anymore, but there certainly are some gusty winds. And if I put the track on the wind again, we got 61 mile per hour wind, 65 mile per hour wind going in one direction, but then up against it, 14 miles per hour. I'm not as impressed with this as I was earlier when we had it into Washington County. Let me see if the National Weather Service has done anything else with this as far as an update on this. Not that I'm seeing right now. No update on this tornado warning. But they did issue another severe thunderstorm warning just to the south of this. So you're going to have to keep an eye on this. The tornado warning continues until 9:45. National Weather Service decided to issue a tornado warning on this. And again, there is some gate-to-gate shear with this. Let me move this map just a little bit higher up right now. And there's, let me find Uniontown here on this. There's Connellsville, there's Uniontown. So there's a little bit in here, but it's just not as impressive as some of the ones were earlier that we saw coming out of the Washington County cell that we did actually see spark a tornado in that area. Let me get you another perspective on this right now as I go down through this, because I want to make sure that you are seeing the best that I can show you right now as far as what's going on with radar. And again, here's what that warning is. Let me take some of the warnings off there. I'm actually reloading a slide right now, so I apologize that it's taking a second to load up here. Let me get some of the warnings off of here right now. I want to get some of the, let me get the flash flood and the severe thunderstorm warnings on, so we just focus on the tornado warning, which is right in this area here. And again, we're not seeing a huge hook with this like we did when it was going through Washington County, but there's still some indication there's something going on there. National Weather Service has that tornado warning until 9:45. And again, this is for basically west central Fayette County. They're actually just reissuing it now. So let me see if I can get the latest on what they're saying right now. I'll share that with you. So the National Weather Service continues the tornado warning for Fayette in Greene County. The tornado warning remains in effect until 9:45 for southwestern Fayette County. At 9:22, a confirmed tornado is located near Uniontown, moving east at 35 miles per hour. So we do have a confirmed tornado near Uniontown right now, moving east at 35 miles per hour. So you folks in Uniontown, please get underground right now. Don't wait for this to be in your area. Let me show you exactly where this will be right now. If there is a tornado still on the ground, there will actually be, let me get the forward here to show you, because this is pretty discernible and we can show you exactly where this would be. So you're looking for that couplet, that red and green going back and forth. There is Uniontown. If there's a tornado, it's going to be right in this area right here. You have the wind pushing away in one direction, the wind going toward in the other direction. Now again, it doesn't look that great, but according to the National Weather Service, there is a confirmed tornado west of Uniontown heading east at 35 miles per hour. So if you live in Uniontown, if you live in Georges Township, you should be in an inner room right now. If you're watching me on TV or watching me on streaming, please get inside. Matter of fact, Mike Fowler, our director, can you hear me? Because we have a confirmed tornado on the ground, I need to get back on WPXI. So I need to go from the streaming to WPXI. So just give me a heads up in my ear with a quick standby, and I'll pause for a second, then we'll get back on WPXI. But according to the National Weather Service, we do have a tornado, confirmed tornado, west of, excuse me for one second, west. I'm trying to find this real quick. Okay. I am ready. We're going to get back on WPXI. If you're with us on the stream, I apologize. I'm trying to get the latest information and continue the coverage, but I'll take a pause right now and get back on WPXI.
From Channel 11 News, this is a Severe Weather Team 11 update.
I'm meteorologist Scott Harbaugh, live in Severe Weather Center 11. We're getting back on the air. We were on streaming. We're getting back on the air now with the tornado warning in Fayette County, because National Weather Service says there has been a tornado on the ground west of Uniontown heading east at 35 miles per hour. The velocity, which is one of the things that we look at, and I explained if you were with us earlier during the tornado that touched down in southwestern Washington County, we look at the velocity. The red is the wind going in one direction. The green is the wind going in another direction. This area right in here, if there is a tornado, it is right in here right now. And the National Weather Service did determine they're going to continue the tornado warning for Fayette County because a tornado was confirmed, reported on the ground west of Uniontown, moving east at 35 miles per hour. Now, the velocity signature right now is not as strong as it was back in Washington County. That could be because of two reasons. One could be because it's not as strong as it was when it was in Washington County. So it could be a weaker tornado, a smaller tornado. Probability number two in a likely scenario is the farther away a tornado travels from the radar site. The radar site from the National Weather Service is in Moon Township in western Allegheny County. The farther away it travels keep in mind, the Earth is curved, it's round. The beam actually goes up above the storm the farther away the storm is from the radar site. So if the beam is at a 0.5 degree angle and it's going up like this, the farther away the storm is, the more the curvature of the Earth, the harder it is to detect. So we might not be getting as good of velocities on this because of the fact that it's so far away from the radar site now. Some of it is shooting over the actual low-level cell. But if we got a tornado, it is right toward downtown Uniontown right now. I'm going to step off camera, try to get you the latest that I can find from the National Weather Service sites. But again, tornado warning, excuse me, for Fayette County. This goes until 9:45. Tornado warning continues until 9:45. And let me get you the latest on this from the National Weather Service. They just issued at 9:23. Tornado warning remains in effect until 9:45 for southwestern Fayette counties. At 9:22, a confirmed tornado was located near Uniontown, moving east at 35 miles per hour. Emergency management confirmed a tornado on the ground just near Uniontown, moving east at 35 miles per hour. So again, I'm going to keep the velocity up on this because this is the best tool I have to show you right now. And again, let me educate you one more time in case you haven't been with us, in case you're not familiar with this. What do we look for with velocity? We look for red and green. It's called a couplet. And this is not an overly discernible couplet. There's not a lot of interwovenness with this, but you can see the red here. You can see the green here. So if there's rotation, it's right in here. And it's right over downtown Uniontown right now. So if there is a tornado on the ground right now, it is coming past the mall into downtown Uniontown and will head out toward Dunbar. Now, a lot of times we talk in this area that we don't get a lot of tornadoes because of the mountains. And when I say we talk, I mean all of us as Western Pennsylvanians in general. That is not the case. The mountains and the rivers do not protect us from tornadoes. But I will say this. East of Uniontown, coming out of US 40, you get that quick rise into the Laurel Highlands. That could help to diffuse this a little bit as it goes to the southeast. Not that the mountains protect us from tornadoes, but if you can't get the inflow of the air from the southeast, from the northeast to get that going together, then you could break this apart a little bit. But right now, you got the green and the red in Uniontown and the velocity. So if there is a tornado still on the ground, it is right in this area, cutting through Uniontown. There's the bypass right there. There's US 40. So this is probably just southwest of downtown Uniontown right now. Again, I'm stepping out because I want to check if there's anything additional from the National Weather Service chat rooms right now, anything on the latest as to what is going on with this right now, because occasionally they will put in new information, storm reports right now to see if we see anything in that area. And so far, nothing right now coming out of the chat areas right now from the National Weather Service. So let me go to their bulletin page here. So far, nothing additional on that. So I'll continue to keep an eye on their data feeds. But again, this is the area we're looking for right in here near Uniontown. They have continued the tornado warning. I'm going to put some markers on this to show you the wind. So again, I actually got a pretty good couplet now coming in on this. So just north of Uniontown right now. Let me put some inquiries on this to find out. You got wind going 38 miles in one direction. You got wind going 18 miles in another direction. So again, not overly fantastic on the shear, but again, some of it because we could be shooting over the radar just a little bit. Here's the latest track on this with this warning. And again, this is heading to the east at 20 miles per hour right now. Hail size about a ½ inch in downtown Uniontown right now. And again, the problem with this cell is it actually is showing some rotation. Radar at 922, still indicating rotation, and emergency management in Fayette County saying there was a tornado on the ground at 922. So again, let me get back to that data feed there. Okay, let me see right here. National Weather Service, the tornado threat has now diminished. However, large hail is still associated with the storm. So again, as I've been saying, the couplet on this is not great. Emergency management did say there was a tornado on the ground west of Uniontown. Now that it's getting through Uniontown, that couplet's weakening a little bit. Still hail, still gusty winds. Hopefully this is the last tornado warning of the evening. We have a team heading down to Washington County where there was a confirmed tornado. We will bring you live coverage tonight on Channel 11 News 11 at 11.